My friends, the air over the Pacific is electrified and the silence on the military communication channels is deafening. Imagine for a second, pay attention to the vastness of the airspace stretching from the Taiwan Strait to the Spratly Islands. There is no room for error at this very moment. A Chinese pilot flies with sweaty hands on the control stick, aware that death might be slipping through the darkness beside him. Exactly, invisible and lethal, without any alarm in his cockpit daring to go off. We're not here to debate theoretical video game scenarios or arcade games in generic simulators. What's happening right now while you're watching this video is the prelude to the ultimate 5th generation stealth confrontation. It's a direct and inescapable clash between the United States F-22 Raptor and China's J-20. This duel isn't about who has the better-looking machine, it's about absolute sovereignty over the most volatile airspace on the planet. Beijing's geopolitical gamble is aggressive, intensifying military patrols in the South China Sea and building an invisible wall. Through its denial and anti-access strategy. Look at the level of the Chinese audacity. The result? The tactical outcome between the maneuvers of the Raptor and the brute force of the J-20 will dictate global supremacy in the 21st century. This is where I want your attention. This is not a conflict between equals. It's a duel between the titanium phantom and the urgency of an expanding empire. The Raptor is the phantom, the J-20 is Beijing's desperate attempt to rewrite the world order before time runs out. And the Journal National and Luciano Huck's show won't break down this threat for you. But first, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like on the video because it takes a lot of work to make. My friends, don't underestimate the Chinese J-20 thinking it's just a piece of metal for state propaganda. This beast was designed in the workshops of Chengdu Aerospace Corporation. In 2011, and right on its maiden flight, it already tore through the skies at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. It is Beijing's golden ticket in its strategy to project military terror far beyond the first island chain and its immediate borders. Chinese engineering installed Delta Canard wings on this colossal aircraft, aiming for dominance at high altitudes. And here is the game-changing detail. The J-20 was designed to operate at an extreme service ceiling, reaching maximum altitudes ranging from 16,600 meters to a staggering 18,200 meters. Operating at the edge of the atmosphere means the thin air is less forgiving, but it gives Chinese missiles devastating kinetic range. And to complete this altitude advantage, China has armed the J-20 with a lethal combination of missiles. They carry the agile PL-10 missiles for short-range engagement and the massive PL-15 missiles for strikes far beyond the horizon. Carrying the PL-15 means that China doesn't want to fight up close. It wants to shoot down the Americans' large radar aircraft and tanker planes from hundreds of kilometers away, blinding and paralyzing the United States Air Force before the real combat even begins. The Chinese have created a cyber symbiosis by connecting the J-20's avionics directly to the HQ-9 surface-to-air missile batteries and the vast integrated air defense network of the mainland. That sounds invincible, doesn't it? On paper and in military parades, yes. In the podcasts of certain commanders who love China. Have they been to China? Are they paid by China? Well, that's a topic for another show. On paper and in military parades, China wins them all. Chinese propaganda already displays models and speculations about future jets like the J-36 and even rumors about a supposed J-50. But pay attention to this. Projects like the future J-50 are, in practice, display pieces and showcases to inflate the party's ego. The real killing machine in today's world is the J-20, which already has 200 units in operation. But when we apply the reality check of the battlefield, American intelligence detected the Achilles heel of this beast. The radar signature of the J-20 is not invisible. It's the size of a softball on American radars. This camouflage is brutally degraded by the protruding edges of the canopy, by the canard stabilizers, and especially by the engines, which emit a gigantic heat signature, glowing like incandescent targets in infrared tracking systems. An imperfect radar signature means, in the ruthless reality of war, that you will be. The J-20 is one of the most powerful among all countries. The People's Liberation Army relies on its numbers. But it hides the fact that 40% of this fleet is grounded due to chronic maintenance failures. They also hide the fact that Xi Jinping made more than 100 of China's highest-ranking generals disappear. Yes, the J-20 is dangerous, but it's blind in the dark compared to its natural predator. And that's when the sky darkens and the titanium ghost enters the scene, the F-22 Raptor, the unattainable masterpiece. Lockheed's unattainable masterpiece remains the most lethal force on the planet. And here's a very important detail. Already operating in real war, something that no modern Chinese fighter has managed to achieve. The heart of this machine is not just the engine, it's the metallurgy monster called F-119 PW-100. There are two of these engines pulsing inside the fuselage, each generating a staggering thrust of 15,800 kilograms. This immense power catapults the Raptor to a constant supercruise of almost 2,000 kilometers per hour without the use of afterburners. In other words, the F-119 PW-100 engine ensures that the Raptor can pierce through the enemy's dead zone, attack, and disappear before Chinese air defenses have time to calculate an interception. That's what we just saw inside Iran. Its radar-absorbing material coating makes a 19-meter-long machine appear on enemy sensors as small as a marble. But what happens if, by fate or by running out of missiles, these two giants end up face to face in a dogfight in the air? This is where American training and aerodynamics prove their worth. The F-22 has vector thrust engines. In a close-range visual encounter, the American pilot performs an insanely aggressive maneuver known as the oblique slice. The oblique slice is a lethal maneuver where the F-22 cuts through the air at an asymmetric angle, violently pointing the aircraft's nose and the aim of its AIM-9X Block II missiles directly at the J-20. While the Chinese pilot is still trying to understand the physics of the American's movement, his internal bays spit out death before closing in the blink of an eye, ensuring the Raptor remains stealthy until the very millisecond of the kill. He is the ultimate shooter, equipped with a surgical data network that absorbs every electronic pulse from the battlefield. But the Raptor doesn't fight in a vacuum, and Beijing's math is grim. The F-22 is mechanically superior, scalable, and silent, operating as the ultimate shield so that the B-21 bombers can tear through the Chinese coast. But what happens when the best sniper in the world, equipped with the best rifle, runs out of ammo in front of an armed crowd that keeps advancing? And this is where the confrontation stops being a duel of knights in the sky and becomes a collapse orchestrated by Saturn. The Chinese strategy is not to build a jet that can defeat the F-22 in a fair duel. The strategy is to suffocate the Raptor through exhaustion. They plan to build up to 500 J-20 fighters by 2030. They don't mind losing 20 Chinese jets to take down a single F-22 because they have the numbers. Beijing's ultimate goal is to wear down the American arsenal, turning the Pacific into a real meat grinder. And this is where theory collides with inevitable reality. Imagine the lethal and prophetic scenario already predicted by intelligence analysts for the year 2027. It's right there, almost crossing the border. The clock ticks, diplomacy fails, and a massive squadron of J-20s gets the green light. They take off under the suffocating humidity and extreme heat of Hainan Island, the gigantic naval and air base that serves as the spearhead of Chinese power. The mission of these J-20s taking off from Hainan is clear. Aggressively intercept and force down the U.S. Navy's P-8 Poseidon flying 160 kilometers off the coast. The early warning radars on the American ships and the E-2D Hawkeye flying radar scream on the monitors, detecting the enemy formation, tearing through the stratosphere. But what the Chinese don't know is that above them, flying at over 14,600 meters altitude after silently refueling, are the F-22 Raptors. They are shadows advancing in supercruise. The scanning radar of the lead J-20 sweeps the horizon and finds only empty air. The Chinese pilot believes the path is clear when the Hainan squadron approaches. From kill range, the Americans decide the game is over. Exactly 111 kilometers away, the titanium ghost strikes. The Raptors release their radar-guided missiles, which silently pierce through the airspace. In a matter of seconds, two J-20s are turned into colossal fireballs over the cold waters, leaving only debris raining from the sky and parachutes opening as the Chinese pilots sink into the ocean. The takedown is clean and perfect. But the darkness brings no relief. The J-20s will keep taking off from Hainan. They see the debris in the air. They don't know what hit them, but they have clear orders to keep marching to their deaths. The technological superiority of the United States clashes with China's endless meat grinder. The verdict of this analysis is simply, victory in the Pacific will be dictated by the exhaustion of the Western machine. And for the algorithm to understand the weight of our revelations, I need you to take action. Go down to the comments right now and leave our double signature for today. Type in all caps the words lethal friction. I repeat, show that you control the narrative and type lethal friction. Now pay close attention to this. Every single day you ask me, how do I master communication? How do I face the system and speak to millions of people? How do you break the million views barrier without relying on paid traffic or the goodwill of the algorithm? My friends, that's 50 million views reached every month across all my social media. Just like Raptor sleeps in the sky because of its precision, I'm going to teach you how to master the digital world through authority. If you want to stop flying blind on YouTube, I'm going to open up the black box behind my method. I'm gonna throw open the doors of my studio here in Curitiba, yes, right here where I am, for an exclusive in-person immersion. It's not a recorded course, it's not a lecture for a crowd. There will be only 10 people. 10 spots for those who will sit at this same table with me. To learn hands-on about scripting, retention, recording, and how to position yourself with unshakable authority. If you want to stop being invisible online and turn your voice into a weapon of influence, type "I want" in the comments right now, or point your phone at the QR code that's appearing on your screen right now. If you prefer, I left the link now in the first pinned comment and in the description. This could be your big breakthrough, but hurry because there are only 10 spots available. For this opportunity to be here with me and break through the million barrier on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on social media. And if you're tired of wasting time looking for a good movie or a new series to watch with your family, we've created a channel with tips on series and movies with fantastic curation. So you can just enjoy without wasting any more time, without worrying about whining, without worrying about woke culture. We did this for you. We watch the movies, analyze the series, and bring the titles for you to simply enjoy. The link is also down here in the description, in the pinned comment, and in the card that will appear on your video. And for those who have been following, we've already launched our new channel with Davi Almeida Almescani Breakpoint, the largest community of elite analysts on YouTube. So there's also a card popping up for you. Now subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like on the video because it takes a lot of work to make, my friends. Shield your mind. I'm Shimon Oliveira, and I'll see you in the next video or here in Curitiba on July 12th. See you then.